What has ended up on your sustainability bingo card for this year that you didn't see coming?
Oh, that's a really good question.
One that I think everyone should love is the U.S. government banning red dye number 3, because I think that's going to be sustainable for kids, young adults, and adults' long-term mental health sustainability.
I would definitely have to agree with Mikey. I did not see banning of ingredients coming from our government this year.
And
or at
so
least
quickly.
And so quickly. Yeah, I
Yes.
think that was the biggest shock. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the What the Nell podcast, the Ecopreneur's Edge edition. I am your host, Nell Tice. My co-host, Mikee Bence, is here, and we have a very special guest with us today, who I will introduce very shortly after Mr. Mikee Bence introduces himself to you. If this is your first episode, welcome. And if this is not your first episode, welcome back. But Mikee, welcome back to you.
Thank you, Nell. As always, it's such an honor to be here. For those who don't know me, I'm Mikee with 2 E's. The 2 E's in my name stand for the environment and everyone, the 2 things that I care about most. I am so excited to be on season 3 of the Ecopreneur's Edge. For those who don't know about the Ecopreneur's Edge, we are a podcast and vodcast, catch us on YouTube if you need to watch, that explores the sustainability of economics and business, and also the sustainability and how we can protect and preserve this beautiful planet that has gifted us all an amazing environment in which to thrive in business and life. So thanks, Nell. I appreciate being here. I'll send it back to you.
Oh, thank you. It reminds me of like the Dawson's Creek episode where Dawson's mom was cheating on her husband, and she's like, "Back to you, Bob." Anyway, sorry, because she was cheating with a news anchor. Okay, side tangent. But thank you, Mikee. I feel like you should be the official like What the Nell spokesperson. So yes, if you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, and if you're listening on your favorite audio platform, don't forget to leave us a review. And we hope you enjoyed today's episode. We have with us our esteemed guest, Ms. Kelly Johnson. You might know her from Kelly Johnson Photography, especially right here in South Central Pennsylvania. But Kelly is no stranger to the What the Nell podcast. She has been on at least twice, maybe 3 times. I do remember a specific roundtable that she did with a episode that I did for a series called Don't Follow Me with Steve Trott, which was also very popular, just like this series is. And today we are doing a very special episode. We're doing a Q&A episode, and it's going to be really fun because Kelly has a list of questions to ask us in regards to sustainability in many facets. And Mikey and I have no idea what the questions are.
What did we get ourselves into?
Exactly. But Kelly, yes, I can see the look on her face. It's going to be amazing. But Kelly, let us first welcome you to the podcast.
Thank you. No, I am excited to be here with you and Mikee. Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So why don't we just like get right into it? Hit us with the first question.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. So you guys have been doing this for a while, this collaboration. So I'm curious, what does sustainability mean to each of you? Because I feel like it's a broad topic and you can take it in different directions. So what does it mean to you guys individually?
Great question. Mikee, I'll throw it to you first.
Okay, this is a question that I love answering. I've answered it a few times before. I don't know that I've answered it many times here on the Ecopreneur's Edge. So for clarity, sustainability to me can be translated into any industry or any idea or concept. There's always something that motivates me in what I'm doing, and that is legacy. So like my goal at this point is to have a really awesome Wikipedia page that lives digitally forever. But I want to be known as Mikee with 2 E's who cares about the environment and everyone. And those the two E's in my name literally came from my passion for sustainability, because in anything that we do, we just want it to last forever, whether that's business, family. I think that it's a really cool tradition that people's last names were passed down in a sustainable fashion. That way we can, follow genealogy, and trace it back as however far that we can. But sustainability really means just a system that lasts forever. So hopefully in the digital age, my Wikipedia page will be sustainable and last forever. Luckily, we were born on planet Earth, everyone here. If you weren't,
most of us,
DM me, because we need to have a different conversation. But we are in a beautiful planet that has everything that we need. It provides us with food, water, shelter, and warmth, from our sun and the solar system. And as long as we continue taking care of this planet, we can lead not only an amazing life, but we can leave an amazing legacy that hopefully lives on forever. So when I was thinking about who am I, what am I going to build my brand and my business on, I had to just keep coming back to the fact that if we have no planet, we have no business. So it became very important and imperative to me that I should showcase my efforts in sustainability while preserving the planet, while also owning a business for 13 years. So that to me is, in a nutshell, what sustainability means.
Very cool.
I mean, I have to kind of piggyback off of what Mikey said. When you mentioned the word legacy, I was like, oh, that's a great word to wrap up my thoughts on sustainability. My thoughts are, big picture, long term. And sustainability to me is a word that has a multifaceted definition, or even multiple definitions, because if you talk about sustainability from an environmental standpoint, we're talking about, what's good for the planet and how can we keep it thriving long after we're gone, and how can we nurture it and sustain it. And when you're talking about sustainability from a business standpoint or a financial standpoint, we're talking about what can we do to continue our efforts long term. When I talk about sustainability all the time in video production and podcast production, instead of setting yourself up for something that's so trendy, okay, maybe your schedule allows it in this moment. Is your schedule going to allow for it 5 years down the road? Can you keep up with the pace that you have currently set? And that's where my head goes to sustainability, and what it means is definitely legacy.
Yeah, that's a really good answer, and a really good point too, Nell. I like how you laid that out about it works now, but what about a year from now to 5 years from now? Are you still going to be able to be doing that thing?
Exactly. And you have to think about that from all facets of it, and even if you start a tradition in your household, whether it be composting or something, solar, Mikey, we've talked about solar so much, is this something that is sustainable to long term down the road? Or is it just a trend? Is it just something that everybody's doing on Instagram and it's not actually going to take hold and be a thing 5 years down the road?
Yep. Great answers, guys. Okay.
Thank you.
Next question. If someone peeked into your home right now, what's the most sustainable habit that you would be caught doing? Okay, that's part A. Part B is, and what's the one guilty pleasure that you're not ready to give up yet?
Oh, this is such a good question. Mikey, your face.
He's I'm not answering. I'm pleading the fifth.
No, it's gonna sound silly. I'll answer my thing that I won't give up first, and that's gonna be Reese's peanut butter cups.
Hey, yeah.
I love the honesty.
Even so, I understand, processed packaged food, but in the grand scheme of things, I was over here trying to feel guilty for my Reese's peanut butter cups, but I was it's just milk chocolate and peanut butter, with a couple of, artificial preservatives. I don't even think it has like food coloring. Like there's no red number 40.
That's
So it's
true.
like, I was like, I don't feel too bad about, the thing that I can't give up.
I love that, Mike. You should not just to make you feel better. I was listening to a podcast the other day with the food babe, and they asked her the same question: "What is your guilty pleasure?" And she was like, "Donuts. Like I need a fresh donut." So even the food babe has a guilty pleasure. Okay, there you go.
And I think that that is a-okay.
Yeah.
But to pivot on, my most sustainable habits, um, I have three things. So I love, buying organic food from the grocery store, but I also love that I built a compost pile. In 2020, when we were all locked down for however many months that we were locked down. So I, buy my amazing produce, I eat it, and then any scraps or leftovers that I have, I can literally put in I have an orange compost bowl. Orange is my favorite color. And I take that out, on a regular basis to my compost pile. I need to revamp my compost pile because it is like a three-tiered system. Uh, but I didn't realize how much the compost was going to go into the ground that I built it on. So
Oh,
it is a constant battle to chop down like all the weeds that grow around it because they are fed. It's almost like the Ninja Turtles with their secret ooze. I feel like the weeds around my compost pile are just these gigantic tasks I always have to deal with. So my
So,
garden, can get a little compost, but the weeds surrounding it get a lot more.
so what you're saying, Mikey, is you have the best and healthiest weeds in town.
There's also a little catnip, like catmint pile there, and it goes, the neighborhood kittens are my best friends.
oh my gosh, Kenny just wants to sit on your porch and just watch all the cats and sit next to your compost pile.
I
That would
mean,
be his dream.
let's do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I can tell you probably the most sustainable thing that I do. Especially during the summer, and we try to do this as long as we can into the season. So we basically only shop at local farms. And for our groceries, we have a farm that we go to for raw milk. We have a farm that we go to for meats and chicken, and pork, all the things, all the meats and eggs. And then we have a farm that we go to for produce. So anything outside of that, we occasionally like a spindrift, like a effervescent not cola, but water. That's what it is,
Yeah.
like a sparkling water. We'll go to like a place like Target or something like that if we need other toiletries and things like that. But very, very conscious of that. We use all of our own reusable bags. We return containers, so like the egg cartons and the cartons that the produce comes in and things like that. We take them back to the farms. And then probably the guilty pleasure. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely terrible. I love to cook, and I was raised on my mom being like, no, we need to use less dishes and be cognizant of how much water you're using and everything like that. And because I love to cook, there is no boundary in my kitchen to how many dishes I will use in any given cooking session. So I don't really tend to pay as much attention to the water consumption that I should be. Because I'm like, I don't care if I need that pan, I'm using it. And yeah, so that's definitely my guilty pleasure. If it has to do with cooking, I don't care.
All bets are off.
All bets
I
are off.
love that. I'm going to interject a little caveat here with in my faucet in my sink in my kitchen and also at my shampoo stations at my salon.
Yeah.
I have like I always want to say a shower head, but like whatever you would put your fixtures
Uh-huh.
that have special aerators in them. So
Oh.
in my salon and in my kitchen and my shower as well, it actually uses half of the water and produces like twice the pressure. So like at my salon, I can rinse hair color in a shorter amount of time while also reducing my water consumption by up to 50%.
Oh,
So
that's
there are
cool.
tools to make sure. And here in central Pennsylvania, we have a great water cycle, and we have some of the, here in Harrisburg at least, we have some of the most pristine water, like potable water for drinking and salon and showering.
Mhm.
So I don't like the water's going to get used somehow and it's going to go back into our system. But in places like Las Vegas or, LA, where water consumption is a major concern, more so than it is here,
Yeah.
there are tools to help us be more sustainable when it comes to using water.
That's a good point, Mikey. And I don't think people think about that a lot in like kitchen sinks. We do think about shower heads all the time. Oh, we should filter our water and that type of thing. But for some reason, the kitchen sink tends to be like an afterthought. And honestly, we need a new faucet anyway. It doesn't really work that well. So I may hit you up for some recommendations.
All
All right, I love it.
right. Great answers. I love them.
Thank you.
All right. So next question. All right. I know that prepping for a show like this takes a ton of time. So have there been any unexpected rabbit holes that you've gone down while prepping for a show, and you've like maybe found out like a strange like factoid or like thought that you're like, oh, I never thought about that before.
That's a really good question.
Nell, I feel like we're in season 3 and we've kind of like debugged our whole system. So like
Yeah.
even when we were starting, we were both kind of well versed in digital public speaking, if you will. I know I've thrown out Clubhouse a couple times in 2019 and 2020.
That's taking it back there, Mikey.
So that's, kind of how I got over my fear of digital public speaking, which translated into a couple, web productions for hair product companies. And then, obviously the green beauty community webinars and here at What the Nell Ecopreneur's Edge. So I don't know that we've really gone down something challenging or insurmountable because we were already practiced when we got here.
Yeah.
However, I know that it's come up a few times when we've touched on subjects that get a little bit more geopolitically, socioeconomically motivated. And we
Spicy.
really haven't touched on the spicy content here on the Ecopreneur's Edge yet.
We really haven't. And we talked about it, Mikey, that we were going to do like a geopolitical episode. And I hesitate a lot with some of that because, and you know what? And I'm not sure that I should anymore because I've been accused of political ramifications that I have apparently induced
One
without...
way or the other.
Yeah.
We make a disclaimer every time we talk about something. We're not trying to influence you. We're not experts in anything other than creating this podcast.
Right.
But still, people will go one way or the other, and we're like, we're not telling you.
No, completely assumption based, might I add. So, what's the harm in getting a little spicy here? But, Kelly, to answer your question about rabbit holes, the only thing that I feel like I remember was, Mike, do you remember the episode with the recycling from Dauphin County? Kelly actually was her name. And I found that episode to be really intriguing because it seems like a world that I didn't really know a lot about. And what happens to, like, when you throw something in a recycling bin, what happens to it? Like, past that, nobody knows. So I found, like, asking more questions and things like that. I found myself doing that because I just didn't know at all. And I just wanted to, like, dig as deep as I possibly could on that one.
Next question. What are some small everyday habits you guys have adopted that have made a bigger difference than you expected?
That's also a really great question. Okay. So, and I'm going to take pride in this, and I feel like there should be awards. But at one point, so I'm always very cognizant of making sure that I'm like turning off lights, overhead lights when I leave a room, and keeping temperatures, household temperatures at a very, agreeable state where we can be comfortable, but also not consume, like no one needs to live in 64 degrees. Like it's just, think about these things. But at one point on our electric bill with MedEd, we were the 15th most sustainable as far as electricity goes in Lebanon County.
Nice.
Our household was. I was very proud of that. I was like, I know there's probably only 20 houses in Lebanon County, but
Excuse me while I step away to get your participation trophy.
Thank you, Mikee. I'll take 5 gold stars with that. Thank you.
I love that. No, that's such a good. I think we talked about that before on the podcast, and we were like, we're gonna frame our electric bills.
Yeah.
So kudos again. For me, I was trying to think like, what is the most sustainable, and like, I am such a creature of habit and routine, and my like human need is consistency. So, like one of my just like super secret powers is like drinking black coffee. Because I don't need to support, French vanilla creamer. I don't need to add any, calories that I may or may not need, into my macros because I'm very health and fitness minded. So like, just drinking black coffee sets me up for success in the morning. Caffeine is my only vice, and talking to good friends like you, obviously. But so like, waking up and having my black coffee in the morning, is like such a good reset for me. And then I was thinking like, what else is a good habit? But my whole life has turned into a good habit because I will wake up, I will, do my little morning routine. I will do admin or come record a podcast using my renewable solar panels that are sitting above me on top of my roof, so I don't feel guilty using electricity. I will get on my bicycle and have a carbon neutral commute, to work or, to run an errand, or I will get in my hybrid truck, which, is not completely carbon free, but like, a better alternative to some other things in terms of carbon neutrality. I will go to my business where I don't own the buildings where my business or businesses were, but I can procure electricity from providers through the online marketplace. So even at my business, my operations are powered by wind and solar, and then I can shampoo somebody's hair using half the water, and then I can use sustainable vegan organic hair products, and then when I'm blow drying them, I'm again using good electricity. I can bicycle home. So it's almost like all these little habits that took me years and years and years to get into. I was like, my whole life is just a sustainable habit now.
Yeah, that's really, and it's full of small changes that make big impacts, which is really cool.
Cool. All right. So I have one last question, and then we're going to do a rapid fire round. Okay.
I love it.
Okay. So if someone feels overwhelmed, like they know that they want to start incorporating some sustainability practices into their life, and there's a lot of information, a lot you can do out there. If they feel overwhelmed, what would be one thing that you would say to that person to encourage them on this journey and to get started?
Good question.
I'll take this first. So I have started like calling these sustainability superpowers. And my number one, sustainability superpower is going to be self-awareness. So what I have started doing is figuring out which way I can organize the information about myself and about my life. So if I need to write, if I need to journal, if I need to do a freeform app on my phone, if I need to, get a piece of printer paper and Crayola markers, like however, but I will list the things that I would like to start changing. And then my second sustainability superpower is accountability. So I'm not going to pick all the things on my list. I'm going to pick one of the things that seems like the easiest to start in the beginning. Now I'm going to take that list and I'm going to put it in my back pocket in my filing cabinet, because as I go through my 7, 14, 21 day trial of trying to take my reusable grocery bags into the store each time, which I do now, That was not an easy one for me. But that was one thing on my list that I could start and implement. And if it works, then I can move on to the second thing. And if it doesn't work, I still have my list of the next thing that I can try. And I can cross the one that didn't work off and be like, maybe I'll come back to that later. We did a goal setting, workshop here on the Ecopreneur's Edge. Go back and listen to that if you haven't. But I can take something now, reevaluate it, and come back to it later, or just determine that that's not okay with me. So I understand the overwhelm that comes from starting a sustainability journey, but with our superpowers of self-awareness, making our list, and accountability, choosing one thing, we can really overcome that overwhelm very easily.
That's a really good answer.
Good answer.
Yeah, that's a really great answer, honestly. I think what I would tell somebody to encourage them on this journey is, it is not your sole responsibility to heal the environment. It is not it is not up to just you. And to not put that much pressure on yourself to start this journey and be perfect on this journey, because there is no such thing. The goal really is to encourage so many people to take these steps and create those lists, like Mikee said, and just start with one thing at a time. Because if we all collectively did that, then we have a better chance at healing the earth and the environment and all of us. And so I think encouraging somebody by telling them that it is not up to just them, that helps make it a little less overwhelming. This really is a collective goal, or should be a collective goal as a society, and we should all really be pitching in and doing our own parts, not every part.
And not only as a society, but as a world in general.
Yes. Yeah. All societies, all continents, all people, everything. And that's really truly, I think, the goal here, and just not feeling that sole responsibility for it.
Yeah. All right. Are you guys ready for the rapid fire round?
I think we are.
All right. So I've got 10. Okay.
Ooh.
So it's going to be like either or. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Compost or recycle?
Compost.
I'd have to say recycle because I don't compost yet.
Okay. Solar panels or electric car? Which would you choose first?
Solar panels.
Solar panels.
Coffee mug you reuse or paper cup?
Coffee mug reuse.
Reusable.
One product you can't live without, sustainable or not?
Oh man. Oh my gosh.
One product I
think
can't
there's
live
stumped
without.
Folks.
Yeah. So like I have this. This is gonna be not rapid fire, but I have this story of like, if I lost everything, all I would need is one comb and one pair of scissors, and I could restart.
Oh.
So like everything in my life is not disposable, but like
right.
I don't. So scissors, I guess, would be my number one.
This is. Can I say lip balm?
Yes, you can.
Preferably organic.
Okay, that was fun. All right. If you had to give up one forever, which would it be? Plastic wrap, paper towels, or single-use coffee pods?
Single-use coffee pods.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Your most, I swear this is sustainable.
Oh,
I'm going to cop out and go black coffee.
That is a really good sustainability hack. Honestly, not showering very often. I know I'm a dirty bird. Listen, when I'm home, I shower probably twice a week. And when I'm traveling, you're lucky if I shower.
Once in 4 days.
Kelly may or may not have had recent experience with that, so she knows it's true.
We love to see it.
Okay, let's see. Where was I? Favorite eco-friendly brand or product you actually love using?
So this is kind of like location specific, but I love Nature's Promise from Giant Grocery Store.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Any grocery store should probably have their own brand, eco-friendly, organic, brand in your grocery store.
So shout out to Giant and Nature's Promise that maybe they should be like sponsoring this series. I mean, I'm just saying.
Thank you, Kelly. Well, our marketing team will reach out. I really enjoy now that we've had Isaac on the podcast too. When the episode that we did about recycling bottles and things like that, I really love products with recycled or like very minimal packaging or packaging that you can recycle or get refilled. That's like any product that comes in that type of in that way.
Sure. All right, cool. Do you actually bring reusable shopping bags with you when you grocery shop?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I do, because at the farms there really aren't bags, so it's actually a good way, because you're like, if you want to take stuff out, you have nothing to carry.
Yeah. Yep. A sustainability hero you would want to have dinner with.
Oh boy.
So like, it's been mentioned many, many times that like we would love to have the food babe on the show, and I would love to sit down and chat with her. But like, if I had to think of somebody who wasn't the food babe, and to give not a cop-out answer, I love Sir David Attenborough and all of the attention that he's brought to ecosystems, biodiversity, and animals that aren't humans on the earth. So I would have to say I would sit down and I wouldn't even ask questions. I would just listen to him talk.
Oh, that's really good. I would have to say mine's a toss-up between Mr. Robert Kennedy and Paul Saladino, who owns a company called Lineage Provisions, who is like the biggest proponent of carnivore. And yeah, between those two, and purely because I want to know things. Like, I have questions. So it would definitely be like an interview podcast style dinner.
Great answers. Okay. Last question. What has ended up on your sustainability bingo card for this year that you didn't see coming?
Oh, that's a really good question.
So like, I'll take this a little lowbrow and then highbrow, just to be quick. One that I think everyone should love is the U.S. government banning red dye number 3, because I think that's going to be sustainable for kids, young adults, and adults' long-term mental health sustainability. But like, one thing, I just recently got into thorium nuclear reactors and modular nuclear reactors. There's technology now that I wasn't even aware of at the start of this year, that we can use different kinds of nuclear energy other than uranium-235 or 234, whichever one that is. We can use other molecules to create nuclear reactions to get carbon neutral power, and we can also do it on a smaller scale. And I just found out Google is investing in one in the South. I want to say Kentucky or Alabama are getting the United States' first modular nuclear reactor. They're investing in that. So did not see that coming. Didn't even know it existed to be able to see it coming. So That's my lowbrow and highbrow.
That's pretty cool. I would definitely have to agree with Mikey. I did not see banning of ingredients coming from our government this year. I didn't. So quickly. Yeah. Yes. I think that was the biggest shock. But personally, I didn't think I would be hearing so much about electronics recycling and how to do it properly. And only because, I have friends or I have equipment that needs to go somewhere and I don't know where to take it. So then I invest in a little bit of research on how to properly dispose of electronics. And that's a big thing. But yeah, I think the biggest shock to me is definitely the government banning ingredients and how quickly it has happened.
Great answers.
Thank you.
That was the rapid fire round.
That was it. Done.
All right.
You guys passed.
Yay.
We passed.
You passed.
Well, Kelly, I have one question for you.
Oh boy.
How have you introduced sustainability habits into your own life?
I would say the biggest one that I've introduced this year is sourdough bread.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole thing, like, and Nell, were you shared your starter with me. And my sourdough starter, her name is Dolly Parton.
Is that not the best?
And so Dolly Parton and we have a fabulous relationship. And I've started making my own bread, and other products that I use, all kinds of things. So it's nice to know that I'm able to do that for my family. And we don't, typically buy bread in the store anymore. Like, I know what's in my food.
That's a really huge. So you took that list that Mikee was talking about and you checked a big one off, because if you can make things yourself,
yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. It's amazing for your family, for your bodies, for the environment too,
yeah.
So congratulations.
Yeah. And it's really rewarding,
mm-hmm.
to do that. It's therapeutic mm-hmm. in a way. So yeah, I there's more benefits to it than just like what you're ingesting or not ingesting. Yeah,
for sure. Couldn't agree more. Final thoughts, you guys, on Q&A and sustainability?
Excuse me. So I have to interject here because it's the first time we've had a representative from this industry, mm-hmm. of which I am, I wouldn't say I'm an amateur, but I don't know that I would call myself a pro or an expert. But Kelly, yes. In the photography industry, what are some, like, I don't even want to say like buzzwords, but what are some buzz topics on how photographers can make their industry more sustainable?
Question.
Well, there's a lot right now with AI, and in the photography world. I think that, like, personally, in my opinion, is knowing what you love, figuring out how to stay in that lane, and embrace AI to help you. I think it's important as photographers that we need to be up on AI, and so that you can use it to help you and not be afraid. It's like it's the next revolution. Like, there were the film photographers who didn't embrace digital, and they, left the industry. So now this is the next thing. So now everybody who's embraced digital, now we have to figure out how are we going to embrace AI and use it to help us and not let it, drive us out of business.
I do love that. So that is kind of the business sustainability aspect. Is there an eco-friendly, like, save the planet side to how photographers are tackling sustainability?
As far as like
products or materials,
like, are we recycling camera lenses? Are we?
There's like a huge market to like resell. Oh, for sure. Yeah, like I actually just I sold one of my lenses and purchased another one. So yeah, so there's that's definitely an option to do that.
Yeah, I would say I agree with that, because that's that way too. And I say film. Whenever I say film, I feel like I'm giving myself way more credit than I deserve. But in the video space, it's the same type of thing. When Canon comes out with new products and things like that, things get older, lenses get older, cameras get older, and they become vintage. And there's a huge resale market, and I think it's embraced quite a bit to purchase used equipment, mm-hmm. Rather than new in our space. Not only does it save you cost, but it also saves from being in the landfill, and which is amazing. And there's a lot of these things hold their value, so it has the ability to sustainably stay in the market, mm-hmm. and be resold multiple times. There are people that collect, the film cameras that Kelly had mentioned, and lenses and things like that. So a lot of these things can stay out of landfills simply because they have such a high resale value and can continue circulating in the market that way.
I love that. I know, I dabble in, I'm more than dabble, but like I'm not always in those groups, talking about industry speak, if you will. So I was just very curious, like what, because I know a lot about what hairdressers are doing to be sustainable. So I was like, let me get some insider knowledge on that industry as well.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Sure.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, this has been an amazing episode. I loved the fact that we did not know the questions ahead of time and we were able to answer authentically. And that's huge because I think, a lot of people are asking some of these questions too, to people that they follow or asking themselves, like, what can I be doing better to contribute to sustainability in our world and on our planet? So this was really eye-opening for me. I hope it was for you guys too. But yeah, this has been amazing. And Kelly, thank you for, prepping for us and coming up with the questions and being a willing participant.
Yeah, thanks for asking me to be a part of it. I had fun.
Absolutely. And Kelly, before we go, how can people get in touch with you? And also, just so everyone knows, Kelly is not a stranger to podcasting or radio shows. Ms. Ask the Expert.
Yes. Yeah, so people can find me on most of the socials. Facebook, Instagram, Kelly Johnson, Photog, Pinterest, LinkedIn, the good old interwebs. KellyJohnsonPhotog.com.
And we'll definitely make sure to link all of that information in the show notes below and in the description on YouTube. So, Mikee, thank you for being an amazing co-host as always.
Thank you for having me, Kelly. I really appreciated everything that you did here. So thank you. And I will look forward to hosting you on a future episode of Ecopreneurs Edge.
Yeah, definitely. All right, you guys, like we had mentioned way back in the beginning of this episode, if you're on YouTube and watching this video, make sure you like the video, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening on your favorite audio platform, don't forget to leave us a review. That is how we grow here at the What the Nell podcast, the Ecopreneurs Edge edition. And as always, I will catch you on the next one.